Welcome to another Secret Influence TV interview. I'm Nick Ronald, and I believe that everyone has a story to share. And I interview people so they can share their story and share their message, because I'm passionate about communications and influence. And I believe if you want to be successful, you have to be able to influence people to follow you, to engage you, to buy your products or services. And I interview people who inspire or influence. So today I'm really excited. I'm going to be talking to Beata Podgorska, and we're going to be finding out about what she does and also her book, which she's just launched recently. So welcome, Beata. Welcome to Secret Influence TV.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you for having me.
And so we're going to just start with a few questions to get to know you a bit. So would you say, where are you from to start with? Where do you live?
So I live in UK, but I am originally from Poland.
Okay.
But I have been living in UK for the last 18 years, and this has been my home. Yeah.
And so do you go back to Poland much?
I'm actually flying to Poland tomorrow, and I haven't seen my family in about a year, so that's really exciting to be able to do that. Yes.
Is it Polish Christmas? Is it very different to the UK one?
A little bit different. We celebrate on the 24th, our Christmas dinner rather than 25th. So there is slight differences. I think the main one is the dishes. We eat a lot of fish, so we celebrate with the fish rather than turkey or anything else. So yeah, it's quite a tradition in Poland. So there's going to be a lot of food.
Oh, that's the best bit. And talking about food, do you like cooking?
I love cooking, but I must say I'm not very good at cooking Polish food. My grandma is and my mom are experts in that. So I leave them the cooking. I do the helping out in the kitchen, but I leave them the cooking because they're amazing at making the traditional Polish dishes. Yes.
You do more of a support role.
Yes.
And is there anyone you admire in life? I mean, it could be anyone, it could be someone you know, it could be a fictional person. Like, is anyone you know who inspires you in life?
My dad was always like my hero and the person that's always inspired me to do really well and really fight for myself and, be out there and doing the things that I've always wanted to do. So he's always been like that, my biggest supporter and the person I've always admired a lot because of his professional sort of career and what he did personally. But I must say, in terms of what I do personally as a life coach, Tony Robbins must be like the legend, the one person. I remember I started watching him when I was still a young girl, when I didn't really know him that well. There was not much available back in Poland, but I've always kind of been observing him, watching him, not knowing that this is something that I will one day end up doing. So I just love how he's able to inspire and just the way he can transform somebody's state like very, very quickly and make that massive shift for somebody.
No, I know Tony Robbins. I've been to a few of his UPW, Ultimate Power of events in London, and I think there was sort of 13,000 or 15,000 people in the room, and it's just incredible for someone to be able to talk on stage and keep captivated, engaged with that many people. I think
absolutely, yeah, it can be an easy task. Yes.
So now I'm going to officially introduce you. So Beata is a mindset and confidence coach. She's an international motivational speaker, best-selling author, and she helps empower women around the world using powerful mindset tools and processes to help them build and find their inner confidence. So she helps her clients embrace growth and change as a necessary process to let go what no longer serves them. I think these are things, whether you're a woman or a man, any age, these are all things I think we could do with help with. And I think change is one of the things we find hardest in our lives. So Beata, what would you say motivates you? What excites you? So when you get up in the morning, when you're going to, a busy day ahead, what motivates you to keep you going?
What motivates me personally, I've always been in sort of service to people. I've always had that personality, always was like the best support to my friends and family. So I always brought great pleasure from being there for other people, not for myself. So I really am at my best and in my power when I wake up and I feel I have a day full of activities where I can help others, support others. That really brings me a great sense of achievement and happiness.
Fantastic. No, I think keeping motivated is so important. And, we all have a days where we struggle to do that, and we all motivate ourselves in our own little ways, our own little routine and habits. So it's always interesting to see what inspires people to, in their own way to keep themselves going. So Beata, so you're a confidence and mindset coach. Is that all you've always done? What's your story in that way? Is that something, or did you start off doing something different?
Well, the story behind why I decided to focus on this area of coaching is because of my own personal story, which has really inspired me to just see whether I can help other people, help my clients by using my experience and things I've gone through. And then obviously once I've started speaking to my clients, I got obviously inspired by their stories as well. And I realized how lack of confidence or belief in yourself can really stop you from, getting to that, that one thing you've always wanted. Sometimes even getting out of bed. I remember when I had a very difficult period in my life, when I really struggled to get out of bed and self-motivate. I just lost the confidence in myself and lost complete ability to just feel good, or do things to make myself feel good. I didn't have those tools. I didn't know what to do. So I believe it's so important, once you install that self-belief in yourself for anything in life you do, like whether it's a job, whether it's a business, relationships, such a big topics, family, any interactions you have every single day. It's so important to do those things with confidence and believe in yourself, because otherwise you make choices based on fear. You make choices that aren't that good for you because you are holding back. You're not really being true to yourself, and having that confidence is so important. And it's really helped me. I really believe it's really helped me transform my life and go through a rebirth process. So yeah, that's the reason why mindset and confidence are such important parts of a self-development in a journey for every person who wants to make changes in their life.
No, I agree. I mean, it goes back to that motivation. I think if we've gone through some struggles ourselves, I mean, that often is what motivates us because we don't want to be in that situation again, or we want to help other people who are going through a similar situation. And I think confidence, mindset is so important. I think 80% of success and happiness in life is down to having the right mindset and be able to have that, especially in the challenging times, to have that resilience and that keep that confidence through the ups and the downs. So Beata, you're a speaker, and then also you mentioned an author. So I'd like to ask you about your book. So just to say, I'm the founder of Number One Copywriting Community. It's a little shout out to everyone in that group. I'm going to share this video. And I do interview a lot of authors because as a copywriter myself, I'm passionate about writing as a way of communicating. So Beata, tell me about your book. It's quite intriguing. You said it was a co-authored with a group of people. What's it called and what's it about?
So the book project is a very, very close to my heart because not only of its title, so the title of the book is Rebirth, 11 stories of real women who reinvented themselves, renewed the life force, and rose from the ashes. I believe the title of the book really represents so much what I've personally gone through, and obviously what other ladies went through as well. So it's a collection of 11 stories, real life stories by real women, basically telling, the audience, the readers, what they had to go through to get to the point where they are at in their life right now. So I'm really, really excited. The book has launched on 3rd of December on Amazon as a Kindle option Thank you very much. And today, actually, 18th of December, the actual paperback copy has come out officially on Amazon, so it's available as a hard copy. So I'm definitely getting a couple of copies for my family because they're very excited to have a physical copy of the book. So it's an amazing project, and it has been an amazing experience. And I have actually shared my personal story about what we've just talked about. My journey from the struggles I've experienced in my life to where I am today, and the ups and downs, and how amazing at the end the journey was. So yes, it is a fantastic, exciting day for me today. So
well, congratulations, and I will definitely get a copy. I love books. I've got bookshelves all around my living room and my office, and whenever I meet someone who's an author particularly, I always get a book. But whenever I walk past a bookshop or secondhand shop, I always end up with a book under my thing. I love them. I collect them. I read a book every week. So with your book, so 10 people. How did it come about? How did you know the people? How did you know the people you wrote a book with, and how did you meet them?
It's an interesting story. Thank you for asking. Nobody actually asks you that part of the process, because how do you actually come across a project like that? It just happened that a lady, Sandra Stachowicz, who is the person who made this project happen for us, and she's one of the authors of the book as well. She approached me twice actually, and at the time last year, I wasn't ready. I wasn't in the right space. I didn't think I was ready for that project. It's a very personal project, telling your story, and you really have to be able to be in a space of, vulnerability, to be able to tell the story, because you're sharing like parts of yourself that are very, personal to you. Not everybody can do that. And I think last year I wasn't ready. And then Sandra approached me again, and she gave me a nudge, and she said, "Are you ready now?" And something about this year, 2020, I could kind of feel it's going to be a big year. I knew there's going to be some, some shifts and some changes. Little did I know, obviously, we went into the most difficult year. However, what I've discovered, I've kind of told myself, I'm going to say yes to more projects. I need to be more proactive and actually saying yes to more opportunities. And that's exactly what happened. I said, Sandra, you know what? I don't know how it's all going to happen, but let's do it. And I am so glad I did, because honestly, that was like the beginning of some amazing events. There's other projects I since got involved in since I said yes to the book. So it was like a snowfall effect. It was like a snowball effect. It just literally, things started happening. So honestly, the power of saying yes and not caring about, how it's all going to happen, and just kind of leaving it all to, work itself out, is amazing, because, you never know what amazing opportunities can come along. So yes, I'm a great advocate to everybody. Say yes and then figure out the rest later. Just say yes to things in life.
I mean, obviously, a lot of things that when they happen, it is about timing. It's not the right time at some point, and then later it is. But certainly the yes thing, I'm in the process of developing some online training courses, and someone said, don't worry about perfecting it first and getting all 100% right, then selling it.
Yes.
Put the date in, get the framework, and then sell it, because then you're committed, and then you can before it launches, you can perfect it and add it. But once it's out there, once you started telling people, got the date, is committed, you say yes first, and then you're committed, and then everything else will happen, because you have to honor it. So I do like that attitude. It's definitely something that I try and do. So on the last sort of question on the book front, so did you find, I mean, firstly, do you think you'll write another book? Does that interest you?
Sorry,
do you think you'll write another book? Does that interest you on that future? Will it put you off?
Funny you ask that. Actually, since we finished the project, I've already started making loads of notes and doing a lot of journaling, which actually is something I've always been doing. And actually, a lot of notes from the past that I've had in various various notebooks all around my house was what the text I've used to write my story. So interestingly enough, I've actually discovered more material I've had around my house, and I thought to myself, wow, that's like a lot of material which I can use for my next book. And straight away, actually, I've started, making more notes and writing. So I've already made a decision. I am writing a book this time by myself. Obviously, it's going to be, again, an interesting process. I don't know how things will work out, but I'm just going to say yes to it and just figure out the rest later. So yes, absolutely. I would say to everybody has a story. You have a story inside of you. And if you have a story that you think can inspire people, if you have a story inside of you that, you think can help somebody by reading your story, absolutely 100% go and do it. The most amazing experience ever. Absolutely amazing.
No, it's a great point there. We all have a story to tell. We all have experiences, and we all have a background, and it's how we connect through stories, where on a personal level, but also in business with our brands. That's where we connect. And if you can inspire someone when you're telling a story, then they're going to be a fan of your brand, and that's what you want. So, to be successful in life, we need to connect with people and inspire people and be able to influence them to follow us, to like us, to buy our products. So storytelling is incredibly powerful. So Beata, you're a confidence and mindset coach, and obviously the last year of COVID, there's been a lot of challenges to people's mental health, confidence, and then people sort of go through change, not sure what to do. What would you say that you've what are some of the biggest challenges you find the people you speak to are facing? And yeah, is it the change, not being able to handle the change? Is it the keeping confidence, clarity?
I think definitely this year has really affected more people. I mean, mental health and, people struggling with anxiety and, anything related to, mental health is not really talked about enough, I believe. And this year has really affected so many people, the changes, the unknown, the lockdowns. I think the level of people feeling lonely, disconnected, the ability to, just have a normal conversation with a friend or family member has really affected a lot of people. And when I speak to like my clients and even my friends and family, everybody says the same thing. It's really hard. It's really difficult. Like the one thing we have been, born to do and have been programmed to do, which is, as a human being, being affectionate and just being able to to have those normal day-to-day interactions. Now people are locked inside of the houses, unable to go, and obviously if somebody has been unlucky to get the virus, obviously being in a lockdown for for 2 weeks at the time, those things have really affected everybody. I mean, I'm very, very lucky that I've completely decided to take an advantage of this lockdown situation, and I went back into doing things I used to love doing. Not everybody knows this, so I love singing. Not so great, however, it really helps me because I've always been singing as a child, so it's really helped me just lift my moods, lift my spirit. Also, art has been something that has really helped me personally, going back into art, painting and creating art that really made me feel good. And I woke up every day with like sense of, purpose. So I always made sure I do that. So a lot of activities I did during the lockdown, I had to really adjust and change how I was doing things before, because all of a sudden you at home more often, you're not allowed to travel, you're not allowed to do a lot of things. And I personally, because I already had those tools from, learning NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and learning all those mindset tools and, things that can help me, I was lucky that I already knew what to do and how to shift my state from feeling bad to actually being, feeling good and doing all those little things. But a lot of people don't have those tools, unfortunately. And a lot of people need that support, and they need somebody to help them or show them the way. So I really am a massive advocate for, saying to people, reach out, go and, speak to somebody, because honestly, there's many people in a similar situation, or, whether it's seeing a therapist or a coach, or, just speaking to your friend or family. I really kept a close contact with my family. I was on the phone with my family more, over Skype than I would have been normally, because I knew the importance of the communication and actually, having those healthy conversations just to, keep yourself mentally strong. So definitely a massive, increase in people feeling bad and, losing the confidence and, having this negative mindset, self-talk in their head, which can really be damaging, especially if you're already vulnerable, if you're already getting sick and you can't see your family and friends. So it has been definitely a difficult year for everybody.
No, I think 100% right. I mean, I think we all have to adapt, and we find change hard, and there's been so much change. And of course, we can work from home and we can do calls on Zoom. That's not a problem. It's not an issue, but it is that connection, and you can't replace human touch. And I find that I'm chatting to the people in my corner shop or the supermarket tills more than ever. Where before I just go in and buy some shopping and go home. Now I take it as an opportunity to have a conversation. And supermarkets, they often have a name badge, so if it's a quiet till and supermarket, I'll say, "Oh, hi Janet, how are you?" And I have a little conversation, and that's my opportunity to speak to other people. But I think echoing that, I think urge people that take any opportunity to connect with anyone. We have restrictions, but within that, human relationships, what life's about, and whether it's in a social level or a work level, people people talk to people sell to people buy to people. Everything in life is about people. So definitely need to prioritize any connection in that way if we can. So with your coaching, what obviously coaching is one way of getting support. Why do you think coaching is important as a technique? Or maybe what in a way you offer it. How what's the because obviously there's different ways people can get help. They could talk to a friend, a therapist, and get a mentor. But what do you think's better? You offering in the coaching aspect?
I think what's amazing about coaching, which is what I've discovered when I did my course back in 2012, I actually went to do the course because I wanted to help myself. I read about it. I read about the techniques, what it can do for you. I was personally in a very bad space, and I had zero clarity as to what I wanted to do next, what I had to do next. So following up some traumatic, situations and some events in my life, I was completely lost. So I started doing research, and through research, I gained clarity and actually realized for me to make those changes, I have to make a decision. Either I stay in UK, go back to Poland and make my life, from scratch there, or do I do it here? So that was the first number one decision I had to make. Okay. And I did that. And when I graduated from the NLP course, I didn't actually know at the time how much it was going to shift and change me and my perception of reality, of things you could do. It's all about your mindset. It's all about programming yourself for the experiences you want. And I've really learned, the amazing techniques that you can do to shift your mood and, change your stories and things that you can actually do on a daily basis. And that was so powerful. That's actually when I decided I wanted to go and help other people to do it. And that was like the biggest revelation for me. If anybody knew how to do this, if this tool was taught at schools, where kids could use those, those tools and, just feel good about themselves. Like one of the exercises, Circle of Excellence, amazing. I use it so many times, where you just go from a state you're currently in, you may be not in a good mood, or you may be a bit down, and you just shift yourself into a state of your excellence. And what happens is like this amazing shift in your energy, the way you speak, the way you stand, and you straight away look and feel better. Great for interviews, great for big meetings and situations. And I realized, wow, this is so amazing. This is so great. And what I love about coaching as well is how you can get the changes so much quicker. So there's obviously a lot of amazing therapies out there, and I've tried a lot of them as well. I've trained in a lot of other things like Theta healing, Reiki. There's a lot of amazing modalities out there. But with NLP, what I love and the coaching is that you are looking towards. So you are always, rather than looking back and what's gone wrong, you kind of go, okay, yeah, we had a bit of a hiccup, something went wrong, but actually, what can we do to make it better? What can we change? So we're planning ahead for the year, for the 5 years. And what I love in coaching, you just make this amazing plan, you speak to the client, you talk about all those things that may be holding them back, you make a plan, and then you just follow the steps. It's so simple and at the same time so powerful, because what you have is you've got that accountability buddy who's there for you to go, okay, go to the next step. Don't stall, go, you can do it. If you were to do it yourself, it would be much more difficult. So I've realized actually having that support of a coach who's there to you, for you to support you and tell you that you are already where you need to be, but you just need to believe it and then follow the steps. It's so powerful. And I believe everybody would really, advantage from having a coach. I even when I started, I hired a business coach. So I've actually gone through the process of getting the support myself, because let's face it, we're not experts at everything. We can only do what we can do based on the knowledge we have. So we all need the support. So if you're looking at your, improving your health, going to see maybe a nutritionist or somebody who specializes in that is a good idea. So I always say, look at the holistic picture, and actually things I can help you with is to make a plan, make you feel more confident in yourself, but other things that come up in the process, we may need to seek another person's help, which is something that's a good idea, because you just want the person that is able to help you in that particular topic. So I love that. Like I've gone and I've sent my clients to see people who can help them in the other areas of their life. And then we came together, discussed it. How is it going? How can we combine it all together so we can make this plan we made for the new year more successful now that you're sleeping better, that your diet's better, because all of those things will really affect your, ability, your mental health, and how you're able to actually, even work through those, things that you want to achieve in your life. So I'm a great believer in combining, all of the good things that you can do for a client. So I'm always kind of flexible, and I look at every client individually. How can we make this experience better for you, more powerful?
I think it's a good point that anyone can benefit from coaching. Something perhaps some people might think, oh well, it's only people who are starting off, their business, or they're struggling at this level. But coaching is something that it's as an approach, is something that everyone can benefit from, because it's a way of we can all there's always someone who knows more than us. There's always someone who can look at things differently, and even the top people are being this article in the Forbes magazine that was saying about the list of the top most successful, richest people, and what linked them, what connected them. And there were a few things, but one of them was they all had coaches. So even the people who are the multimillionaires and are really successful, and you think they would need a coach, they know it all, but actually there's still people they can learn from, but there's also people who they can go to and ask questions and get support. And the accountability, I think it goes back to that commitment thing and talk about saying yes almost, that it's no good saying yes if there's no one to check they're actually following through on a yes. So if we make promises to ourselves and don't keep them, well, we'll get away with it. But if we make a commitment with someone like a coach, then obviously there's a little bit more accountability, and that means that we're more likely to do what we've committed to. So I think that's a really good point. So Beata, it's near the end of the year, and obviously you're up to lots of exciting things, your book and your speaking. What's your plans for next year? Do you want to do more speaking, grow your, I know you've grown your distinct, you've been working your brand, and then, do you have any big plans next year?
Absolutely. Regardless of obviously whatever is planned for us with the pandemic, I've decided I'm going to, again, take the opportunity, see what else I can do, how much growth I can actually implement into my private life, into my business. So definitely more public, speaking engagements. We are very lucky that we live in the world of digital, reality, where you can have those, conversations we are having right now online. Those events that used to happen in venues can actually now happen online through a Zoom. So you can make as much impact online nowadays than you would have when you're in the room. So definitely up for more public speaking engagements. So I've done few this year, and it was an amazing experience, amazing, massive growth for me personally. I've learned a lot, and I feel like telling the stories through public speaking can be so powerful. I'm really hooked on it. I can totally now see how telling your story or somebody else's story, to inspire change or inspire something in a person is so powerful. So honestly, public speaking is amazing, and I'm definitely doing more of that next year. Obviously my book, so I'll be writing my book. So I'm going to start over Christmas. So I'm taking a couple of weeks off just to reset and take time out. And I'm going to sit down and start writing my book. So that's coming up next year. And then whatever else comes up, I mean, the world is our oyster, and it's really all about seeing things the way you want to see them. I mean, rather than, focusing on the negatives and the fact that we are living in difficult time, what can I do in this difficult climate situation? What can I do to, make the situation better? Maybe you can help and inspire somebody else. Maybe you can make such an impact on somebody else's life. That's invaluable to me personally. If I could make that impact and make change in a difficult situation, that would be like my dream come true. So 2021, here we come. Exciting new things. Yeah.
I think we've had a lot of challenges this year, and I think there's everything has I think most things in life have there's a cost and a benefit. There's some good aspects and bad aspects, and with going online and there's good aspects and there's some challenging aspects. So we're all getting a bit of Zoom fatigue, and obviously it's not the same as meeting real people in real life, but there are some positive benefits. We have to travel a long way to get to events or training, or if we're having sort of coaching, for example, we don't have to travel to meet the coach. We can do it online, so it saves time and money. It's quicker, it's easier. So there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of benefits to connecting and reach out to people, training, learning through the Zoom. So in some ways we need to embrace that and look at the positive. So Beata, we're coming towards the end of our interview. Just to ask you, are there a couple of, if people are struggling a bit in a moment, perhaps they've gone on through change and not quite clear what they're going to do, and it's not their confidence, and it's near the new year, what any sort of few tips on how to pick themselves up, how to start getting the confidence back? Any top tips?
I would definitely say, I would definitely advise, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling like you're losing your confidence, whatever it is, because you're overwhelmed by what's happening right now, and you're pressured by those New Year's resolutions. I hear people just hate the idea of needing to make New Year's resolutions, especially now. It's like, what am I gonna set myself for 2021 when everything's unknown? I would say the best you can do is don't judge yourself. Because honestly, we can be so self-destructive sometimes by trying to pressure ourselves into, being a certain way, because there's so much going on in social media and people talking about doing the best. Actually, the best thing I've done for myself this year is being kind to myself, sit down and actually do things that I love doing, that nourish my body and my soul. Do the things, pick up activities, start small, pick up activities that make you feel good, whether it's meditation, yoga, art, singing, dancing, whatever it is. Start small steps. Don't pressure yourself to try and make big changes January 1st. It's just not going to happen. It's a process. So to go through this, healing process of rebirth process, it takes time, and a lot of impatience, comes up, and people pressure themselves into thinking, oh, it must be done. Don't try and overdo it. Go and speak to a friend, go and speak to somebody who can help you, maybe, look from a different point of view at your situation and maybe help you. It all starts from small steps, small conversations, writing things down on a piece of paper, maybe on a daily basis. So journaling is an amazing tool, which I use every day. And just writing down things on a piece of paper, not necessarily all the good things, the good and bad things that happen, actually reflecting and going, you know what, tap yourself on the shoulder at the end of the day, because the day that you thought was so bad actually didn't turn out to be that bad at all, because you have achieved some things. So be kind, be gentle to yourself, and start with small steps. And that will kind of slowly change your state. It will change your mindset a little bit. And once you've done that, you will be able to, go for the bigger steps, the bigger challenges, because it all really starts with self-care and self-love.
Love that. Self-care and self-love. I think I heard somewhere that we would never criticize our friends. We never dare criticize our friends the way we criticize ourselves. We never get away with it. If we criticize our friends the way we do, so it just says it all. So maybe we need to be a bit kind on ourselves. We've been through a lot this year, but small steps. It does, like it's saying, a journey starts with small steps. It's so true. We get overwhelmed with sometimes all these big things we need to do. We don't know where to start. We'll just start with small steps, as long as we're moving forwards, step by step. So this is going to be shared on the Secret Influence TV YouTube channel. So please do subscribe if you like. I've got lots of more interviews with some fantastic speakers, presenters, authors. I've got a film director coming up next week. So please do subscribe and be notified more interviews. So Beata, I could chat to you all evening, but I know we'll be catching up soon on one of our upcoming events. And perhaps I can get you back on the show when you have your next book out, or when your next books come. So yeah, that's Beata, clarity, courage, and confidence. So I'm going to be sharing Beata's contact details below this video, and do get in touch with her if anything she says resonates with you and you want to find out more. So that's the end of the interview. Thank you very much, Beata. And
thank you so much, Nick. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And thank you to everybody for listening as well.
All right.